one potential thing was we were looking at this volumetric space, hanging somewhere between the mezzanine level windows and the storefront. The idea being that you could come in the space and stand and experience it from below. It's all very like lightweight gossamer fabric, and then a structural wire that gets bent into the frame that it attaches to. So
my name is Johnny Veras, and my background is multidisciplinary. I was educated in architecture, worked in architecture, which led me to set design and film, and I'm also in a band.
So if it was here, it would be centered, and it would be like basically closer to the windows versus like straight.
Map 360 put out the call for artists looking for collaboration. I thought a neat thing to do would be to bring a new member into the community, and that's Timothy Goldkin.
Tim will print. He and I are working together digitally to curate, and then Tim will print it up in Portland, Maine, in his studio. He'll fly down here.
My name is Timothy Goldkin, and I am an artist and printmaker working in a medium called the cyanotype, among others. And I come from Portland, Maine.
We'll circle up. All right. Safe travels. Yeah. Good to see you again in person. Meet you.
You too.
Looking forward to working with you.
Yeah.
So Timothy and I came together. We decided to use his cyanotype skills to do photography.
I'm making the structure for the wings right now. It's kind of composite of a few different things. Suspend it in a way where, you know, it's going to look attractive. So this is kind of like similar to the skeleton of a bird, and this is the base of the wing. And then what I'm doing is scaling down as I get to the tip of the wing, so the material gets lighter. Personally, a lot of people use wings for symbology, and I thought it'd be neat to represent the wing taking off, with the theme being together we take flight, but also it's a less common way to represent wings in a sculptural form, and it's going to give it more height and dimension, which is kind of the fun thing about this collaboration with Tim is bringing his two-dimensional art into the third dimension. So I wanted to do that as much as I could.
What I thought would be cool to do is to take sort of different scale and types of metals, starting with the biggest scale being the aluminum tube, and then moving down through the steel rod, and then galvanized steel wire, then stainless steel wire, and then what's like stainless steel line, because there's different levels of involvement in the community.
It consists of two wings made of a metal interior structure that are stretched with cyanotype fabrics. And the cyanotype fabrics have been printed with imagery, 18 different photographs, and each one of these photographs was submitted by different community members here in Montgomery.
Of the 18 photos, they've all been submitted by people from the community, including myself, and curated to tell a little bit of different people's stories.
So I printed these back in Portland, but each one, I printed them as sheets, and then we cut them down into 3 different ribbons. Each ribbon has 6 images, and we're stitching them together end to end, so they'll eventually be 18-foot-long ribbons featuring 18 different images.
When you look at it from afar, a bird, like each feather looks uniform and the same, but that, you know, the closer you get, the more distinction there are and each sort of unique differences that give it's like fabric that makes the whole thing real.
And Timothy's cyanotype prints that have been printed and cut and sewed into 18-foot ribbons will be stitched to the frame once suspended.
That's why I was talking about the hammered metal when you were getting in. I was like, everyone.
Oh, and this is Jack McKay. He's our fabricator friend. Came over from Atlanta to help us with the install. Jack's a metal worker. He also does a bunch of construction in the film industry. So he's really good at, figuring out how to. get in quick and not make a big footprint and then get out. So. Basically, when we as humans can share in a moment together, even if that's a small, quiet moment, we can bring a lift to each other's life.
What's been the most challenging part of the project?
Absolutely working with Johnny. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just totally kidding.
From two people who haven't seen each other in years to, a large organized event. I really like the idea of Together We Take Flight being, every member of a community, maybe not even the same community, but all of the communities overlapping together, creating that larger patchwork.
A really important part is the participation or the contributions from the different community members who submitted the individual photographs that we're using. And I think for them to be involved and to have a literal part of making this art piece, I want them to feel like artists too. I want people to take away recognition in the small moments, small and big moments that are featured in the imagery in this work. They'll then, when they move out into the world, be a little bit more attuned to looking for those small moments just all around them.
Together, they make something more resilient and stronger than any one of the things alone, and I thought that was a beautiful analogy for this project.